Just doing squad battles, mate.
Every objective thing we've observed in the universe is made up of subjective elements.
It's on professional mode, and it's so easy.
It has to be a color. It has to be something.
I'm just trying to get my draft open.
All our objective elements are mental constructs.
What am I doing? What the fuck?
The idea of side is a mental construct.
I'm listening to the podcast while fucking doing this, so it's so simple.
Degrees is mathematical. It's happening in your mind somewhere.
I'm not fully there.
You can draw it, and I can see
Yeah, fuck you, mate.
Fuck
Davies, man.
Someone else. But these are, they may be
I just packed him. He's actually really good.
Constructs that are repeatable. So we think of them as a real thing.
We're in agreement that mathematics is a mental construct, and it's true. It's by definition true. So
You prick.
yes.
Is that a penalty? What the fuck? Have you lost your virginity?
On the ground, it's in the world.
The numbers are in your head, and the subjective element is in the world. There's a two-way street.
The subjective element is in the world, but it's a triangle. So
Yes.
how's it in your head?
Because when you look at a triangle, the subjective elements, when you observe them in your mind points out different objective elements of that triangle. But it's dependent on your mind.
By that argument, the entire universe is dependent on mind.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And if we're going to use Occam's razor,
Yes.
not everyday language, we're using Occam's razor. Let's take away everything we're not sure of, everything that has a doubt, get rid of it.
Okay.
Get rid of everything with a sliver of, like, you ever heard
Well,
of
the
it?
problem is matter itself as a sliver of doubt.
Absolutely.
Well, when you have subatomic particles that, they exist in two different states simultaneously, they're both spinning and still. They're in super states.
Berkeley would tell you those are images of subatomic particles. They're not subatomic particles.
I'm so bored.
Well,
Wait, what?
I had a conversation with Sean Carroll about it. He was a physicist, and he made it even more.
You nonce.
I thought it was crazy before I talked to him, and then when I talked to him,
He's brilliant.
He's brilliant. He's essentially saying that subatomic particles don't blink in and out.
You're a
of the
nonce.
It's just it's the way we're looking at them, and that they exist in this just bizarre state, but they exist in this state in a way that's very difficult for us to use normal language to sort of explain.
Exactly.
You prick.
But you know what?
I'm gonna fuck. He's probably listening to this. He is. He's like, you fucking dummy.
You know
what I said again?
You know what? One great conversation. I heard a conversation between Jordan Peterson and Sam Harris.
Oh, that conversation about truth?
I loved it.
What a goal.
I think we could do better though.
Yes, I think they could have done better too.
Quite an Everton player as well.
I think they need to get to know each other personally first.
Yes, they never met, by the way.
Right. That's fireworks, right? That was such a great conversation. But here's my question: what's the difference between knowledge and belief? Because a lot of what we said is kind of muddy. Let's make it let's make the waters crystal clear as much as possible.
Okay.
What is the difference between knowledge and belief?
Well, the belief that the gremlins are pulling down on people, which is why we have gravity, that would be a belief.
No, they're both beliefs.
Well,
gravity is not knowledge; it's belief.
Okay, we're talking about gremlins.
Right.
I was gonna say that's knowledge, or that's a belief.
Belief.
Knowledge is if I throw water on you, you get wet.
I would say that's belief.
Wait, I thought that was my teammate for a second.
Water on you, and you show me that you're Jesus.
I'll take a whiff.
Goes right through you, and
The reason
I'm gonna take a whiff, Bellingham.
Make me wet is because it happened in the past. And you think
Bellingham?
the future's
No,
gonna be
Davies.
like the past. Just like Aristotle saw the sun go around the earth, and he thought that this is going to happen every day.
he didn't understand.
I understand that's optical illusion. Let me give
I understand what water is, though. It's H2O.
Okay.
I throw it at you.
Cunt.
All flamingos are pink.
They're not.
They're not. We didn't know that all the time, did we? Then we went to Australia. They don't have the same food source. They don't have the same food source. They're black here. They're white here.
Yeah.
So you have a different food source. Flamingos are not inherently pink. A scientific fact can always be overturned. Oh, look at this! You threw water and didn't get wet.
Yeah, but this is not. It's just because it's a certain coating.
Right, I got you.
If he's got that over his body, he's not going to be able to breathe.
Okay, how about this? You've never seen fire before. You've never seen fire. Okay. You've been being warmed by electric blankets your entire life.
Okay.
Then you see a flame, and you don't. Can you know that flame is going to burn you if you touch it logically, or is it only via experience through history? Developing a history, a relationship with fire. It burned you once, it burned you twice, you're like, hey, well, I think the future is going to behave like the past. I'm not
There's
going to touch that fire
people
again.
who know that fire burns you and they've never been burned by fire because they went to school and they learn from people who explain the properties of fire, what it is, how it works, what temperature it operates on, how it's different depending upon the color of it or what's burning.
Borrowed history. Borrowed history. Still history.
Borrowed history? How so?
You learn from my mistakes of touching fire.
Okay.
But it's still known via experience, via history.
Well, it's known via science
Yeah.
if you explain exactly what the elements of the fire are and how it works and what it burns at and what temperature.
I was requested to do this to you.
To know that it will burn you.
You were like,
No.
you're gonna punch in later.
That's how we discovered fire burns. Like testing it. Not via logical.
Oh, you punch me in the arm.
It's only history. Science is patterns and
Oh yeah, I
regularities.
heard
in
you.
nature. We observe nature, we see these patterns and regularities.
Right.
Right, yeah, I mean.
Well, wasn't that Descartes'
Probably more accurate.
original idea about science in the first place? It was using measurement to sort of understand nature.
Why am I talking to myself? I'm really tired. This is what squad battles does to
His
you.
original concept was science is doubtable. He said that science is doubtable, no doubt. It's called Cartesian doubt, an extreme level of doubt. He says those are all beliefs. I don't have any knowledge. What do I know? Because knowledge means zero chance of being wrong.
Okay.
Zero chance of being wrong. Give me one scientific fact you truly trust 100%.
Okay, if I take a match and I take a yellow piece of paper from this particular notebook, I would light that motherfucker on fire with that match. That's a fact.
Okay, that's a scientific fact? Is
You
it?
cunt.
No, it's a scientific fact, but it's not.
Can't keep dropping the C-bomb.
It's just hypothesis, Job. Why? Because every time you've seen a fire touch a piece of paper,
Fuck off, man.
So you're relying on your
Right, Tom.
historical.
Taz is actually really good. He's been playing well.
You're essentially saying there's no scientific fact possible.
Only to
Like the fact that I conceded as well.
This is not me talking. This is Thomas Kuhn. He's saying, look, we have two phases in science: standard science and then a scientific revolution.
Try not to die at alive at the fight for the go.
And then he said, look, every piece of information we receive, we interpret it through that lens called the evolution. So it makes sense. It fits right here in our story of evolution.
I fucked your cousin, then I fucked your mom, then I fucked your dad, then I fucked your cousin. My cousin was Penny, and she got a
We're
penny.
going to ignore it. We're going to sweep it under the rug. Everything doesn't make sense. We're going to sweep it under the rug. And then one day, that level of information, that amount of information that doesn't fit in any way with our theory, our current theory, is going to pull and pull and pull and pull until one guy comes around and says, no, we had it backwards or we had it wrong. It's this. Now all this information fits in the new theory.
Score another goal like that.
Fits, and all
Boom.
the new stuff
Again.
fits.
No.
That's called the scientific revolution. And he says science is always going through a normal phase and then a revolution phase. And man is becoming more and more precise. But we'll never reach the level of past hypothesis. Why? Because science is based on...
You know, Davies is such a dub.
The future will behave like the past.
For fuck's sake, like.
Via our history. So when I flip that coin, you have no idea.
He was even on my bench. I'm not even concentrating, like,
or I give you my experience. You trust
just
me,
fuck off.
Listen, I did this experiment. Here are my results, and you trust me. You just take it for granted. You take it on way of authority.
I agree with everything you said. I still don't see where you're saying science has so much woo.
Okay.
Or science has as much woo as healers or crystal suckers or...
Listen, I don't believe in crystals in any of that.
I know you don't.
I don't. I have a higher standard of skepticism. I'm missing the woo, though. Okay. The woo is when we project physical laws. Combustion, electricity, gravity. These are all appeal to magic. Can you demonstrate these?
That was, no, yeah, I was definitely offside. I just can't be arsed.
Are they inferences you made in your mind?
Fuck off, mate, you fat wanker, like.
That law doesn't exist out there.
I'm just doing Nancy skill moves at this point.
A name we have for a pattern we've observed in nature. It's pretty heavy stuff, I know.
It's only a name for a pattern that we've observed that exists in nature.
You fucking pedophile.
Because
because everything is just a pattern that we've observed in nature.
Everything's a
Yeah,
pattern.
fine.
There's no logic behind it.
Nothing
There's
is
no
real.
logic. We give an explanation. We give a narrative to it.
Okay.
Soul's going to
That
be pretty
narrative
good.
is just our paradigm. Common school would say that's the shades you're wearing.
Okay.
That's you. Kat said it beautifully. He said, look, you have pink tinted glasses. You can have blue tinted glasses, but whatever glasses you're wearing, that's the song and dance. That's the story you tell yourself of why those things are happening the way they're happening. Okay. The truth of the matter is, all we're seeing is one pattern happening over and over again.
So what this is essentially is an intellectual exercise. But the reality of our ability to come up, well not ours, obviously, super smart people, come up with the very technology that we're using right now to broadcast this podcast.
This is an RTG, by the way.
Figure things out that they're provable and that you can use science to determine what frequency things need to be, how much electricity you need, what kind of
On Gabriel Jesus.
You know, take the image and project it through the power lines and through the internet core cables and all the different things that we need to be in place to provide
What is injured? Oh.
internet connection. That's all science. So this is
It's
all
predictive. Science is predictive.
right, but these are all things that are not just observable, but they're repeatable.
Right. The patterns.
So where's the woo?
Here's where the woo is. Okay? Our explanation for why it happens, the laws of nature, are woo.
It's not woo. It's
It is.
our words that we use to describe repeatable things.
Okay. Which law, which force of nature are you referring to? Let's pick one. Look at randomness. Can you show?
You
I don't
cunt.
think that's a force of nature.
Okay,
I
so-
agree with you that randomness, the idea of randomness.
Okay, pick one. Because they use it. They say it's evolution, natural selection via random selection.
Temperature.
Temperature. Okay. What causes I observe temperature like you. I believe temperature exists. What causes temperature? We don't know.
That's true.
And we don't know.
You and I don't know. We
Neither
would have to
does any
talk to
scientist.
some. They don't have any idea what
They can
causes.
only tell me
that
about the
friction.
patterns and regularities.
That's it. That friction causes certain things. That the magnetic pull of the sun on the earth causes certain temperature shifts. And these are recognizable and repeatable. And they understand how to measure them.
Mm-hmm. These are all just patterns and regularities found in nature.
That's going to go score there.
The names and explanations.
I see what you're saying,
These
but
names and explanations can be debunked later on. I put them in the
Fine.
Mickey
That was
Mouse
fine.
file. But this is listen, I know it's frustrating, but the philosophy of science, this is it. The cause and effect, we do not observe cause and effect. We do not observe one thing causing another. We just see A and then we see B. It's really